This is the Medicine Hat and District Chamber of Commerce with your daily COVID-19 update for May 8th. A new agriculture training support program has been created to help employers in the food supply chain provide for and offset costs related to safety and training during COVID-19. This will include costs for personal protective equipment and to remove any barriers to get Albertans safely working. The maximum government contribution under the program is $2,000 per new employee, up to a maximum of $50,000 per employer. Grants will be administered on a first-come, first-served basis until available program funding is fully allocated. The federal government announced that it will be extending the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy Program beyond June to help kickstart Canada's economic reopening and boost jobs. We expect the government will be providing further details next week. Details of the Emergency Support Fund for Cultural, Heritage, and Sport Organizations was announced. Starting today, partner organizations were to be contacted so that the $500 million that was announced on April 17th could begin to flow to cultural and sport organizations. Canadian Heritage is working closely with its partners, in particular the Canada Council for the Arts, the Canada Media Fund, Factor, Music Action, and Telefilm Canada, to distribute the funds as quickly as possible using their existing channels. Alberta Health Services is hosting 2 virtual community conversations to provide members of the business community with updated information regarding the COVID-19 pandemic and Alberta's relaunch strategy. So how can your business plan to reopen in the coming weeks and months? What can you do to continue to protect your employees, clients, and customers? You'll have an opportunity to ask these questions, amongst others, in one of 2 sessions taking place on Thursday, May 14th or on Friday, May 15th. You will need to pre-register for one of these 2 events by May 13th at 4 o'clock. The federal government announced a new Industry Strategy Council to advise and assess on the scope and depth of COVID-19's impact on industries and to help inform government's understanding of specific sectoral pressures. As of May 8th, Alberta's Consumer Investigation Unit received 458 complaints about price gouging related to COVID-19 at businesses across Alberta, and 351 of those have been forwarded for further investigation or inspection. If found guilty, companies could face fines of up to $300,000. So we strongly encourage you to make sure that you're looking at that information, as well as the Consumer Protection Act. There is an option to report price gouging and skyrocketing prices through an online submission form and a 1-800 number that they've provided. Travel to summer homes, cabins, and cottages within Alberta is now permitted. Albertans should not travel to summer homes outside the province, and if you are planning a trip of this kind, you need to make sure that you prepare for minimal stops by packing food and stopping only if necessary. In terms of our advocacy, the presidents and CEOs of Canada's national and provincial chambers of commerce issued a letter to the Minister of Health recommending the development of updated guidelines for employers and the proper use of personal protective equipment, as well as other health and safety considerations related to combating COVID-19. We know this has been a concern for many businesses in making sure that they have the proper guidelines in order to reopen. So we are voicing your concerns, and we hope to have additional resources for you in the coming days. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce is forming an ad hoc coalition of associations, chambers of commerce, travel, hospitality, and tourism businesses in order to inform and jointly advocate on some of the issues facing travel and tourism industries. We've had a couple of meetings already, and there will be another meeting coming up on May 14th. So if you're in that industry and you do have concerns that you'd like us to express, please feel free to email policy@medicinehatchamber.com. We have some new resources that we found for you, including a recovery readiness how-to guide for reopening your workplace. This was provided to us by Cushman and Wakefield, and it outlines some of the best thinking and practices that more than 53,000 professionals have compiled from across the globe. In addition, there's a 1-page PDF summary that outlines the critical items from the guide with simple checklists across topics like preparing the building, preparing the workforce, controlling access, creating a social distancing plan, reducing touch points and increasing cleaning, as well as communicating for confidence. To help retailers navigate what they need to know regarding face masks, the Retail Council of Canada has put together answers to frequently asked questions and a more detailed list of requirements. We've also found resources about networking from home and what retailers need to know about e-commerce. We also have a recording from a webinar on strategies, succession planning, and recovery. A few new webinars that we've sourced include one from Travel Alberta about revisiting your business model during the COVID-19 crisis, as well as a webinar from the Calgary Chamber of Commerce with the Assistant Deputy Minister of Western Economic Diversification Canada. He'll be providing an overview of federal economic measures in response to COVID-19, as well as what Western Economic Diversification Canada is doing in Alberta. You can see all of these resources, all the links that you're going to need, as well as some upcoming webinars in our daily update. We hope this proves to be valuable for you. We hope you have a great weekend, a happy Mother's Day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care.